Good day all, and as always, massive thank you for those who follow me, those who support the YouTube. You know, if you like these videos, please give a like, please give a subscribe, and if you like it as well, please share it to your friends or anyone that you feel would enjoy this content. Okay, so from bodybuilding to martial arts, obviously as discussed in the last video, this is very much still continuing, and you know, I'll never say never for anything that still might be done in the future or what the path is, because that's very much unfolding step by step. But at the moment, the focus is very much jiu-jitsu, strength-based with the training, and also continuing the mindfulness, continuing the inward journey, and really excelling in them attributes as well. And what I thought I'd come up here, keep this video a little bit short, is 5 key steps for somebody who is wanting to start martial arts, or what I've learned on my experience with martial arts. And I'm just going to go with number 1 as I just give my notes a quick glance. Okay, so this one was, from my experience, was needed, because obviously I was a bodybuilder. I was like 290 pounds when I started, and I think it's important to bear in mind that that wasn't the physical body to probably go into martial arts. I had to really work on flexibility, had to lose a lot of muscle mass and a lot of weight in order to get in shape for martial arts. Needed to be more explosive, obviously improve the cardio system as well. So there was a lot of things to do, really. There was a lot of things to get to work on before we could get into to compete with martial arts. There was a lot of things to address. So number 1 being making sure that the physical body is ready for martial arts. And to do that as well is jumping into martial arts. Like, if you're not feeling like you're ready, just jump into it, because the body will change and mold to what it needs to be for martial arts. But you have to be resilient with it. It was a very, very uncomfortable 12 months. It was very uncomfortable maybe 6 months, but just working hard with some absolutely fantastic people around me who allowed me and helped me to get in shape. You know who you are. Massive gratitude and appreciation for yourselves. But for my part with that, my experience with that, I was relentless with the nutrition. Strangely, I started just eating for my proteins. It was very much just meat, very much just fish for my overall protein for a period of time. I think as a bodybuilder, I was eating 6 meals a day, chicken, steak, and I think maybe my body just was wanting a little bit of a change. But I was very intuitive with that, and that was something that I did adapt to. So I was eating a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of good fats, you know, things like nuts, olive oil, coconut oil, what else in fats, like organic butter. Carbohydrates was very much potatoes, sweet potatoes, gluten-free rice, pasta, all that sort of good stuff, eggs, and just that was just allowing me to get the body ready to be ready for martial arts. I was actually having a lot of celery juice, a lot of juices as well in the morning, just to get that good quality, what would we call it, good quality electrolytes in, I would say. My body really did have a good detox during that time, because obviously coming from bodybuilding background, I was obviously heavily on the anabolics. I was working with a coach and I was getting blood work done and I was doing everything above board, but obviously I was trying to go on this path without needing to do that. And the reason being is because I don't want to have to be, and this goes for no one who's like on TRT, no, this is just my personal take on it, is that I don't want to have to be taking something for a hormone for the rest of my life. If I can do it naturally, I can get my body in a certain way that allows me to have my own natural testosterone at a high amount, then I'm going to do that. So getting the body ready for martial arts is what I would say number 1. And I could go on with that. Trust me, I could really go on with that. And I think number 2, I was going to make this number 1, but I'm going to make this number 2. Having the awareness of the ego in check, because you are becoming a martial artist. You're becoming someone who he's very useful with the hands, very useful with the grappling and the technique, and there can be a lot of attributes that can come with that, and a lot of characteristics. So making sure that you have your ego in check and be in control. And something that I do look on back on reflection with the fights is, and especially with the first one after the fight, when my opponent was unconscious, and I just was just this like this almost like experience of this, bro, like obviously I've won the fight, I've worked so hard, but also it was like I was saying know this, almost like I was trying to prove a point to something or someone or myself in a way. And once I had that explosion, erosion, whatever you want to call it, you know, I did go and bow to my opponent and, you know, make sure that he was okay, and just real honour in that. And if there was something that I could just really pass down to anybody who's wanting to get into martial arts, it's just be humble, in very control of your emotions, and also never ever lack honour, because you are going against someone who you're putting everything on the line, and it's serious, and it's an intense sport, and it's real, and you've got to do damage to each other. So approach it with absolute honour with everything. And it's just something that I would like to see more of in martial arts, and something that you know, I'm very much wanting to keep. You know, the second fight with my opponent, we were shaking hands before the fight, shook hands after the fight, raised his hand when he won, and I just look back at that and I just think, yeah, I couldn't done anything more there. But on reflection of the first fight, I think there could have been a little bit more on it. But on the first fight as well, I was sort of a little bit more riled up for that, if you like, because there was a bit of an incident in the toilets when we both went in the toilet. It was only me and him in the toilet, but there wasn't any respect I felt from his behalf, and I was willing to shake his hand and was willing to, you know, but I just didn't feel there was any of that. But that's how he was dealing with it, and I just thought from then on, I thought, I'm gonna just unleash whatever unleashes. And I just feel like on the reflection of that, that's not really how I want to approach competing with someone. I want to bow to my opponent, I want to be respectful, I don't want any trash talk, I don't want any of that. And I think that just goes for everything, not just in martial arts, but just in general life, just approaching everything with honour. And that's something that I would say when it comes to it. And I think with that, having the ego in check is the root cause of why you're doing what you're doing. Because obviously I'm trying to like show my journey on YouTube and social media and things like that, but at the same time I don't want that to take over. And the reason why I'm doing this because I love to do it, and it's great that we have all this platform to be able to just share our experience with people who actually might want to do it themselves. So that's something that I would say, get to the core root of what you're doing it, and make sure you do it because you love it, because that's important to keeps the magic alive, keeps the spark alive, it keeps you alive, and you're not doing it for ego driven reasons. Okay, so we've done body ready, we've done keeping the ego in check. Number three, okay, no expectations. So obviously again, you got BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The belts are obviously, you've got your white belt, blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, black belt, and even all that, great that you eventually get your black belt or your brown belt, blue belt, whatever you find yourself. But just get in there, do it because you love to do it because you want to socialize with good quality group of lads. And again, just approaching it in a way that you're doing it because it's just becoming from your heart, because you just want to protect your family or learn a little bit more and just have them skills. Because when you have them skills as well, it reduces a lot of anxiety, it reduces a lot of social anxiety, especially in males, and I think that's really important to discuss. And you know, just tick every step by step, have your training structure in place, doing your strength work, doing your skill work, doing your little bits that are going to help control your emotions and control your breathing, and then just watch the journey unfold and watch your skills just amplify when you do that. I won't spend too much time on number 3 because I think that's just really important to just bear in mind. But again, number 4, just have a quick look at the notes. Patience. Yeah, really important, because having the patience to just stick at something day by day, especially when you get started in grappling, because you're just like you're getting tossed to the floor, you're getting pinned, you're getting subbed by, you know, smaller people, if you like, smaller guys, and you know they can do it with ease, and you've just got to keep getting back up, dusting yourself down, getting back up. And I think one of the things that can really help you with that is just ask how they got you, ask what they've done, rather than like getting back up and getting in beast mode and just falling into the same trap or thinking that you can survive. Learn how to defend it, learn how to attack it, and just allow yourself to get out your own way, and really learn from the other people that are around you. And I think that is so important for number 4. So we won't spend too much time on that. We'll just go into number 5 because I'm not wanting to make this video quite long. So number 5, when it comes to martial arts, the steps, the 5 key steps going into martial arts, and wanting to be a beginner, is when you first start, you have to be aware of yourself and the mind and your heart. And I say this because when you're all stiff, when you go into your punches, and this can be like number 5 can be quite a broad range of things, I noticed the flow within my jiu-jitsu, within my striking, becoming, and I'm nowhere near where, you know, where I would want to be or whatever, but as the heart space opened, as I've become more connected to myself and my heart space and my emotions, and this doesn't mean like you're emotional all the time, you know, I feel like as a man, you know, you process your things, you're aware of it, and you become better at feeling. But when your heart space is open, you're a lot more looser, you're a lot more nimble, and you can just perform a much higher performance. So don't be afraid to tap into your own emotional state and get to the core root of maybe some wounds that will allow you to loosen up a bit in your personality, within your game, and that's going to amplify everything as well. So what I would say is connecting your head to your heart, connecting the head and the heart together, and making sure that you listen to both, because they're there to guide you, and they also help you become looser within sports. Not a lot of people will speak about this, but it's very important, because you can become stuck in your head and be such a competitor and try and I mean, for instance, like you're in jiu-jitsu and you're constantly trying to explode and move out of movements, rather than just being silky smooth and allowing things to just flow. And another thing as well is, and I was definitely like this at the start, especially with my training partners, just be mindful of your training partners. You know, you go in there to both learn and to excel with each other. And obviously I was just coming from a bodybuilding background, I wasn't really aware of it too much, but I think I was maybe too, not heavy-handed with my opponents or anything like that with my training partners, but maybe I could have just been in that flow a little bit more. And it's only took me till recently to be really flowy with my opponents. And obviously when you're a white belt, you know, you don't need to snag chokes on and things on like that. You can be nice and smooth with it. You know, you're training to get better with your mates and your training partners, and it's something that we should really bear in mind. And that's something that I would definitely, on reflection, go back. Okay, so yeah, there we are, 5 key steps for starting your martial arts journey, and how you can get the best out of yourself as well there. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, please give a like, please give a subscribe if you like this video. please give it a share if you like this content as well. We'll have a lot more coming your way as well. And again, if you want to comment, tell me what videos you like, please do. I'm all ears. And yeah, peace out people, have a good one.